chicken, altar knife, spleen of a small... No, that's not it.
Hey Renzo, thanks for agreeing to no longer tie me up. It's uncomfortable, it hurts, and I've gotten dangerously close to liking it.
Yeah, of course. Okay, a raven's feather, a sheepskin. No, that isn't it either.
What are you...
Oh, I'm preparing for our next video. Oh wait, I remember now. It's a phoenix feather, a golden monkey femur, and nimpo shime ninjutsu. So much better. Hey everybody, it's been a long time coming for this video. Renzo from Renzo Flutes here. I'm really excited to present the Hitoyogiri today. Here is what it sounds like. The Hitoyogiri was also called the Hitoyogiri shakuhachi, but was originally known simply as the shakuhachi. It later came to be called the Hitoyogiri to distinguish it from the shakuhachi that we know from the Edo era and today. Today, there are only a few people who play the classical Hitoyogiri style in Japan, and it is an extinct instrument. But not for long. Stay tuned for a special update at the end of this video. They may look similar, having 4 holes on the front and 1 hole on the back, but there are some major differences between the shakuhachi and the Hitoyogiri. First off, the length. The length of the Hitoyogiri is 1 shaku and 8 bun, and the shakuhachi is 1 shaku and 8 tsun, making the Hitoyogiri quite a short instrument compared to the shakuhachi. But it isn't size that matters, it's the motion of the ocean. The higher sounds of the Hitoyogiri and condensed range make it an ideal instrument for mimicking the melodies of birds and other natural sounds. Next, the Hitoyogiri uses a different system for pitches, but we will get into that after a mythological story. According to the musical encyclopedia, the Taigensho, written in 1512, it introduces the flute through a story that goes something like this. There was a certain golden monkey living in the mountains in China that had a beautiful, mysterious cry. People who heard it were moved not only to tears, but also to leave their government jobs and become monks. And so they did, until the cry of the monkey had inspired several hundred people to realize the truth of impermanence and gather together in mountain temples. The ruler at the time wasn't liking this situation, so he sent a soldier to kill the monkey. Everyone was deeply grieved at this, and after some time, still full of sorrow, longing for the monkey's voice, they dug up its bones and took out an elbow as a memento. It just happened that when a meandering breeze hit the bone, it resonated with a sound just like the monkey's cry. Following this, someone decided to take a section of the bamboo of equal length, 1 shaku and 8 bun, and see if it sounded the same. But it didn't, so they added a hole, and it started to sound a little like the monkey. As they added more holes, it finally sounded just like the monkey's cry, and thus was born the Hitoyogiri. Hey, what does a golden monkey sound like? That's what I thought. Okay, now the origins according to a different Edo manual called Shichiku Kokinshu. Wow, that's a mouthful. Quote, the Hitoyogiri is an ancient Japanese bamboo flute whose origins date back nearly 1,000 years. It appears in literature and was enjoyed by figures such as the enigmatic Ikkyu Zenji in the 15th century, often being referred as a shakuhachi, perhaps on account of its length, 1.08 shaku, just over half the length of a modern shakuhachi, 1.8. Though distinct from the Fuke shakuhachi, the Hitoyogiri's influence on the latter is clear. Both are played flexibly, using the breath along with various fingerings, but not partial hole shading to sharpen or flatten pitches as you would in the shakuhachi. Both have a similar blowing edge that makes use of an air reed and cultivate a sensitive yet full-bodied breathing technique. Both were played by wandering begging monks and have their own repertoire of free rhythm, solo pieces that seem to imitate the sounds of nature. They have some differences. However, unlike the shakuhachi, the Hitoyogiri was never limited to strictly religious usage, and was legally used for playing popular music as well as ensemble pieces in addition to its solo repertoire, which, though not affiliated with any particular religious sect, certainly has a meditative sense to it. Close quote. Modes. Okay, now time for some music theory. Unlike the shakuhachi, which uses a loose representation of the Myakobushi scale, using halftones in most modes and pieces, the Hitoyogiri uses the Ritsu and Ryo scale. The Hitoyogiri has a small range, but can play fully chromatically, meaning all 12 notes of the Western scale plus or minus 20 cents. There are 5 specific modes that the Hitoyogiri plays to go along with the seasons. Yeah, I know there are only 4 seasons. I'm getting to it. The first mode I will talk about is the summer mode, called Oshiki. It is a straightforward mode, which has a very relaxed character. It sounds like this. The next mode is called Hyojo, which is the autumn mode. is to be played with a slightly lower head position and a bit rougher. The next is the winter mode called Banshiki. It is played the same angle as the Hyojo mode, but should have a slower and refined sound. Lastly, we have the spring mode, which is played with the head slightly tilted upward. It has a brighter and more energetic sound. Okay then, the special mode, which is called Doyo. This mode, which is played during the first 18 days of each season, it is the mode of Ichikotsu. Here is what it sounds like. Okay, let's take a look at a performance in the Oshiki mode and how a piece is laid out. According to the manuals from the Edo period, a performance of a piece in the Oshiki mode goes something like this. First, you play a tsutsune, which means all holes closed. Then, you play a nettori, which is a tuning piece, to familiar yourself with the flute and the scale that you will be performing in, followed by another tsutsune. Then you play a shirabe, which is a short melody introducing the piece of music, followed by one more tsutsune. Now we get the piece of music, which will end with one last tsutsune. And that's the Hitoyogiri. Before the message, a special thanks to Nick from Hon-On Shakuhachi for all this amazing information. It was a pleasure working with you. I don't have to tie him up to do a video. Now there is something special with this video. My colleague Nick and I have decided to start a course for learning the Hitoyogiri. Nick is a good friend of mine who has been researching the Hitoyogiri for years. Together with our combined skills in shakuhachi, shomyo, and the manuals left over from the Edo period, we have reconstructed on how to play the Hitoyogiri, and we want to teach the world how to play the instrument to bring it back to life. We are offering a group class next year in the spring. It is a weekly course which will last 3 months. We hope that you will join us in reviving this awesome Japanese instrument. Go to the link in the description to learn more and sign up. Okay, Linfamy, you are free to go.
If I wasn't tied up all the time, I would already be a shakuhachi master. But you're not tied up, I assume. So go sign up! There's another classic Japanese instrument, often seen as the instrument of the pleasure quarters. Click here to learn about the shamisen. We have some new patrons today: Brendan, Black Knight, Hover Ferret, and Say Side. Hey, thanks so much, you guys. Alright, I love you, and spread the knowledge.